This is Bobby with Day After Day Gaming, here to bring another Dad Startup tutorial. This is going to be the part 2 of the Conan Exiles one that I did last time. So we are going to switch over now and log in, continue our game we already started. So last time we went over kind of if this is your first time playing it, a decent place to build a base, just a small little structure. Built a couple of the building platforms, like the workshop and what do we build? Armor workbench, I think, and a few other small items. But then we started running into the problem that plagues Conan pretty early in the start of the game, which is iron. So there are two main ways to overcome this hurdle. The first one being, you can mine tons and tons and tons and tons of stone. If you really want to. You'll get one every now and then. Not very often. Not enough to really worry about making anything. So it's not really a viable long-term solution unless you're trying to build like a grandiose, huge stone structure where, you're going to be getting lots of iron because you're mining so much rock. Still not very useful. I did show you the one place close by to the starting house that I built where there is a small vein of ore, but it's only like one or two things. You get like, I don't know, 10 to 20 each time. It will respawn day after day, but it just takes too long. So I would like to show you two places to go. The first one I'm going to show you is kind of on the east side of the map. The reason I'm going to take us over there is it stays within our current level range of monsters. Basically, the zones are kind of based on your level and the monster level. Now, I'm not saying you can't like go up north where the harder level monsters are and fight them, because you can. But you'll want to be a little bit experienced in combat. So if you are a beginner trying to do that, probably going to be a little more difficult than you would want. So what we're going to show you is kind of the area where you can try to go, and hopefully the monsters won't be quite as difficult. Alright, we're still kind of loading in apparently because it's being a little sluggish here. I think we're better now. Alright, so we are continuing to head, hopefully I'm heading in the right direction. Yes. We're eventually going to head over to here. This is called Silkwood, I want to say. There are a couple tougher monsters over here. You can try to fight or you can try to avoid, either way. If we're going off the assumption that, you're not that experienced with the game, a beginner, or for people who want to see other tricks near the beginning of the game, then I'm going to assume you may not be comfortable with the fighting. So what I would recommend is build a short little house part of the way down the block here. So I'm just going to gather a few resources so we can at least build a small little quick closet structure. And then we're going to need some wood, so let's get a little bit of wood here. These guys are pretty easy. At least on my difficulty. Again, I normally play on harder difficulties, so take a lot more swings at the beginning of the game. So I don't think it'll be easy just because it only took me 3 swings to kill him. But for somebody new to the game, that's a good amount for you to have to do. 3 swings to kill the easy enemies at the beginning. Good, it's good practice. Also if you want to experiment with other weapon types, I would recommend it. Each weapon is very different in its playstyle, so you'll want to learn what you like and what you don't like. Let's see, we're starting to get kind of full. I got 124 stone. It's not nearly enough stone, but we might go ahead and just continue onward. I'll show the secondary house I'm going to build here in just a minute. If not, you at least want to build a bed if you don't build a full structure. But What I generally like to do is build something real quick and dirty. Nope, I don't want that. I don't want 2 of those. Recipe didn't change on me. Alright. Let's build a door. And I don't have enough twine. Oh, we're gonna need hide. I didn't take that into account. I should have brought some with me. So if you're gonna do this adventure, you may want to go ahead and build a bed first, just to make it easier for you. Because I neglected to do that, so now I'm gonna have to go and do a little bit of hunting first. Yeah, these guys aren't going to cut it. We're going to need something bigger. Let's go check out on the island real quick. So now I'm just going to hunt for a little bit of hide. We need 40, I think, to make a bed. And feel free to explore. And there's lots of territories in here, lots of things to find. I would say that if you find any monsters that have big red skulls on them, be careful of those guys. They're considered boss monsters, and most likely will have way, way too many hit points for you to try to kill right now. I have actually hidden from a couple of them and shot arrows at them, which took me like 200 or 300 arrows in the beginning of the game, so not something I would recommend that you try to do. But, you know, if you're feeling adventurous, I'm not going to stop you. Do what you want. Of course, this island doesn't have any wildlife, it looks like. So we found a useless island. I'm getting some resources, so it's not totally useless. Alright, let's just continue forward. We'll see if we can get a little bit of high a little further up. Okay. So now continuing to the east. This is the boring part, running to places, but that's okay. Sometimes you gotta do it. Yeah, they're supposed to be adding mounts into the game soon, I believe. I saw that one in the patch notes recently. They don't have them yet, although I think they did add more pet stuff you can do too. They might have added a tiering system in thralls, so now you can actually level them up, I think, or if they haven't done it yet, they're going to do it soon. So once we unlock the thralls, we'll take a look at it and see if they show us in there. Okay, here we go. Big turtle dude, like those guys. Ah, I was in the middle of a swing. I couldn't dodge. Oh well, it's all good. Oh, gotta kill him before he blows up. He gave us a little bit of hide. That wasn't bad. Ice little ones might give you one, so may not be a total loss to kill some of those guys. Really wish I could find like a crocodile. Oh, or an alligator. Here's one. Look at that timing. Why did he... Oh, that's weird. He just like went in the water, and now I can't attack him anymore. What the hell? Yeah, that's kind of weird. Okay, I can axe him. Maybe we'll just try to whittle him down with the axe. He kind of got bugged out or something. I don't know what happened there. That was weird. Oh, it's gonna let me farm him now. Yeah, that was weird, but we'll continue on. Well, you know what? There's some humans here. Let's kill them. They can give you hides, so... Oh, level 3 armor. He would have been nice if we were capturing thralls right now. There we go. Yay, we got some wood. Technically not terrible, so... Actually, got a decent amount of hide out of them. They've been better than the animals. Go figure. Chop, turn up some guys. Ugh, nothing. Seriously? Oh boy, gained a level. Let's try a mining pick. Yeah, I got one. Still could have been better. Get back here, little one. $28, still need 12 more. Oh, I got two of them on me. That's good, this one's almost dead. Alright, we're quickly running out of light, so need to try to like speed this up a little bit if we can. Come on. Yeah, take him down. Take him down. Alright. There's some iron bars on him. Of course we're over encumbered, because you know. Why wouldn't we be? Not by much, though. Let's drop that. Why don't we just use the soup? Alright, so it got dark on us. We made it a little over half the way, actually. This would not be a terrible place to build a base, although we got some gazelles here. If I can kill it. Haha. Those things are a little tough in the beginning, because they run away. Hey, we got to 50. I think I only need 40. Must have given us a lot. Alright. Let's build a bed real quick. Of course we're over encumbered. Because you know, why not? Alright, it's good enough for now. Alright. So, one thing you could do at this point, if you want to, especially if maybe you've already tried coming this far, maybe you're having trouble with combat, you know, not really used to it, you could build a house, another house. Earlier I was calling it like a closet house, essentially. So I will show you what I do, although I might not place the bed. But what you can do is pick a spot that you like. If you can, I would build it close to water, provided no alligators nearby. Only because that way you can always refill up on water if you need to, and it's easy to do. So what you want to do is you build a single block just like that. Then you can build a couple other pieces, like you get a sandstone doorway, right? Door frame, maybe in a direction you want to look out of. Then we're going to throw two other walls. You can do it with all frames if you want, so you can always be looking on the outside. It's just really up to you. So essentially what you would do here is you could build a bed here now. I did not build a roof, but you know, feel free to build a roof. I'm not going to do it right now, but you know, you can do it. But all you would do is, I'll show it to you, but I'm not going to do it. So what you could do is, yeah, this may have been a bad bed to build. I built the bed that was bigger than I wanted. Can I build the other one? I think I was trying to build a folded bed. Actually, I don't know if you're going to have those recipes. Okay, so scratch what I just said. You'll have to build at least probably 2 squares if you only have the regular bed recipe. I'm not sure what you're going to have because of the... Oh, it's already... Nighttime's already over. That was quick. But I'm not sure what you're going to have with... Sorry. Trying to get stuff repaired. There's no things are about to break. If you only have the regular bed, apparently it's bigger than 1 block. What I usually do is I would actually put a bed at my main base normally, and then take a bedroll with me, and then a bedroll fits inside of a 1 square block area like this. So I just use that as like a temporary structure. But what you're going to want to do is build 2 foundation blocks, a couple extra walls because you need at least 3 more, right? And then you can place a 1x2 bed in here. Unless you do what I normally do, and I should have done that, but, you know, oops. Just build a bed at the main base back where I was in the bigger house that I had, when I can build it, and then pick up the bedroll to bring with me. As you can just place down the bedroll anywhere, and it becomes a second respawn point. So the idea is, in case you go into this area and get killed, you can respawn here. You know, if I had a house there and I didn't put a bed down, but if I did have a bed, if I died, I come back to here. Oh, crap. Hold on. Alligator attacks! Alright, perfect. Farm him real quick. Wow, all bones, that's unfortunate. Anywho, yeah, you would place the bed down there, or the bedroll, and that way if you die, you respawn here versus having to run all the way back. I think I pulled another alligator. A bunch of them here, actually. Wow. Alright, so we are right here on the map. So we still got to go a little bit further. We're trying to get down to this zone. Along the way, we'll need to get some more stone to build and some more wood. But since I'm already kind of maxed out on weight, I'm just going to wait till I get there now. Ah, yes. A note about this zone real quick. We're going to be passing through a desert area. There are some new monster types in here. Specifically, there are some scorpions and some kind of like tiger-looking stone armored dogs. I don't know how else to explain them. I would not recommend fighting here right now. Only because the scorpions can be kind of nasty. Especially because they're king scorpions in here. If you find one of those by accident, they will tear you up pretty good. So you could actually build a house here if you like. Or at least put a bedroll down. You don't technically have to build a house. You can just put a bedroll down. But the bedroll can get destroyed. So that's the only reason why I like to build a little house around it. So what I would say is at this point when you get to this zone with the desert, there is a special area over there, but it's not early game stuff. You don't need to worry about it right now. So I would not worry about that area. Just skip it. Kind of go towards the water side and run across. And then you're going to start running into some other new monsters. They're essentially black panthers. And rhinos. They're a little bit tougher than the starting groups that you probably fought. If you take into account the turtle guys and some of the other enemies that are up there, they are a little bit tougher than that. So just watch out for them, play it safe, no reason to rush. You can try to kill them. Actually, they're past this wall. You can try to kill them, but just keep in mind you may have to respawn back at the house you hopefully built. So because I did not put a bed down, I'm probably going to try to play it safe and just continue past them for right now. I went a little more north than I normally go. Normally I would go up the hill over there, like up behind the hill and cross. This way might actually be a little bit safer for you, due to the fact that there's less enemies. So it seems. You could also follow the river, actually. The river's fairly safe other than the alligators. There might be some rhinos near the beach. So you just, again, just play it safe. But what we're essentially going to do is we can follow the waters down to around here, I think. Oh, by the way, a trick for you for in the water. So you'll see the stamina bar is constantly going down, right? If you run out of stamina, you will not drown. You can still swim. So we'll... Oh, now I hit land, so it doesn't matter anymore. But just keep in mind, when you're swimming, you will not die per se, but when you get to land, you will have to do the whole recharging thing from scratch, so you might take a little bit of time running out of resources. That's all. I will try to demonstrate that. Let me run out of resources first. Alright, so now I'm out of stamina, right? So, you can see I'm not drowning, I'm not dying, I'm still alive. But then when I do get over to land, and here it is, you will have to do the whole stamina recharge thing from scratch. So the only concern with that is, you know, if you get up here and you get some monsters right next to you, like the alligator was right there, you might have some trouble if you're too close there. And you won't be able to attack for a few seconds. Just pulled something. Oh, an alligator. We're just going to ignore him for now because I'm feeling lazy. Alright, we're going a little bit further in. Should be getting pretty close to where I'd like to build a second camp. Let's see. Actually, I think we got it right there, so a little bit more around the corner. So as you can see, the beach down here tends to be pretty safe. Oh, you see alligators every now and then, but once you get used to fighting them, not a problem. Now, just be careful. If you cross to the other side, like the north side of this little river area, you may find some big giant snakes. They poison you and kill you very, very quickly. So just be careful if you do cross the river and head in that direction, because you may find some enemies you're not quite ready for. But most enemies will not cross the water. So if you do need to get away from an enemy, you can kind of run across the water real quick. Okay, so you'll see we came around the beach. I kind of built a base like right over here a little bit, but you'll see there's iron right here. There's always iron here. So if I wasn't almost completely full, I would get it. But just keep in mind where it is, because you can always run back here to grab more. Also, watch out for that rhino. If you're not used to fighting them, they're kind of tough. Same with that one. So you'll see that there's like a different air kind of across there. You see like all that fog. That's the area we're actually going to, okay? But before that, we want to build a new base. So we're going to go up a little bit further here. So generally what I try to do, yeah, you will sometimes have an alligator over here, but just one alligator. You know, take your time, do a little bit of practicing on them so you can learn how to fight a little bit easier. But generally at your current level here in the beginning, shouldn't be too much of a problem for you to kill the alligators. Okay. Yeah, just watch out for that rhino. Sometimes the rhino will come over here to fight you. But normally he's not too bad. So I just kind of leave him alone. Alright, so we need to get a little bit of resources here. For your first time here, you probably don't need to necessarily build a whole town. You know, at the other place I built a bunch of resource collecting stuff, gathering things. It's up to you. You don't really have to do that. Unless you really, really, really want to. I would say just build up... 4 is good. 4 is a good number to start. So what we're going to do is we're going to build up 4 platforms here. So that's going to be our start of a little house. Let's go get some more stone. Alright, it's good for now. Let's go build a few walls and a doorway. Don't quite have enough to build all the walls at the moment, but that's okay. So we're going to build a doorway right there. And I think I just totally put that on backwards. Nope, it's good, okay. That outline looked weird for a second, the whole red kind of coloring. But we're good, we're good. Alright, let's get a little bit more stone. Got a few more walls. We should probably put a roof on the building. Oh, we just found the soapwood. So, there is something to be careful of over here. There is a boss monster. And the boss monster can be pretty nasty. At your current level, it will take you forever to try to kill him. So I would not recommend even trying to kill him. Even when you get higher level, I mean, he still will take a while to go down just because he does a lot of damage, he has a lot of health. So just bear that in mind. You do want to stay clear of the big, giant monster spider. And he does kind of move around. So I will show him to you when we get a little closer to going in there. But for right now, I just want to finish the house, throw down the bed. Oh, and you might see these little pathways that I'm kind of going near. That is a path into the Silkwood. I want to show you the entrance I normally use first, just because of the way I collect the ore. You'll see why. So we'll get there shortly. I think I built an extra wall by accident. I did build an extra wall. Oh well. That's fine. So let's go and put her on a bed. Alright, bed down. So now you see we got the journey for sleeping in a bed. And now when we die, we have a second spawn point. So now, oops, wrong button. Now we have a spawn point here back of the bedroll, and a spawn point here on top of it, but there it is, bed. So now we can actually teleport between these 2 points if we die. So now our objective really is, I'm using this place temporarily for gathering iron. It's not a permanent base by any means. However, we do need to build a storage box. Oops. There we go. So we do need some wood, 100 wood, and 12 twine. Collect the twine now. Yeah, that goes 12. So now we just need a little bit of wood. So let's gather some wood real quick. We'll build a storage box. Oh, that's right, I forgot they have the birds over here too. See, there's the pink bird over there. You can get feathers from them normally. They like having feathers. Yeah, they're feathers and what else do they have? They can give you hide and stuff. But if you're making arrows, or lots of arrows, feathers are what you want. They're not really that difficult to kill, they're just kind of annoying. If you really want to see it, I'll show it to you later. I don't want to fight the rhino. Go away, rhino. Oh crap, need a door too. Forgot about my door. Oh, didn't load enough plant fiber. Alright, there we go. Ugh, I don't like when the rhino gets this close. I guess I could fight him and show him to you. If I die, I'm just gonna be here anyway. So the rhino's annoying because his attacks are frustrating. And you'll see it, I'm attacking him, right? But he has almost no health off of him. Of course, doesn't help that I'm using kind of a crappy sword right now, too. I need to get some new weaponry. Oh yeah, there's the giant snakes. What I was thinking about those. Yeah, don't go over there and fight the snake. He will kill you faster than the rhino right now. Okay, well we built the box, but I need to get back to the house to put it down. We'll try to circle around. Oh, the rhino's walking back to the house. Don't go that way. Bad rhino. I'll try to pull the rhino away. Yes, I'm doing no damage to him. Just sucks. Yeah, it's one of those little clipping bugs with some of the bigger monsters that happen occasionally. Doesn't always work. And just so you know, if you're trying this against like a boss monster, they can normally still hit you. This guy, for some reason, very rarely is he hitting me. Which I'm okay with. It'll take me forever to kill him though. Let's go, we'll take advantage of the situation and try to kill him. Let's drop this chest down first. Okay, where did Rhino go? Rhino! And now he doesn't want to clip through the wall anymore. So sad. Yeah, once got a giant spider. One of the monster spiders in a house, just by luring him to it and attacking him kind of through it or on top of it or kind of kiting him around it constantly. It took me like 30 minutes to an hour to do that, and you don't really get a good reward by doing it, and get an achievement. But it really isn't worth doing that. So keep in mind, it is doable, but it will take you a long time, potentially a lot of resources. And with the giant monsters, they have the tendency to damage your house more. Like the one I was fighting before actually destroyed the bed, and I didn't notice, so I died, and then got to respawn back to the original waypoint. I'm like, oh crap! Had to run all the way back, and then the hider's like, the spider was stuck in my house. It's kind of annoying. Oh great! Now he just broke the door. And he's basically kicking my tail right now. Okay, well I just broke that sword, but we did kill him, somehow. Luckily. So you may see, if you kill some of these bigger guys, yeah, there it is, exotic flesh. So you may see some different resources you may not have seen yet. And can I build another door? Ah, that was fine. Exotic flesh is like the highest rarity meat at this level. You'll see there's stuff above that. What is it? Ancient flesh is above that, and then I think some of the monster flesh you can get is above that. So I'm not saying this is the top end stuff, but for what you'll see early game, this stuff is really, really good. So definitely get it if you can. It's not going to be easy. Alright, so let me get a little bit more resources to fix my door real quick. But as you saw, it took a long time for him to get through that door, right? So it is pretty useful for holding off enemies from getting through the door. Alright, I should build a roof, but I think we're just going to skip that for the moment. Okay, place the door back here. Well, let's see what it'll take to build. Oh, 100. I might have enough to build some roof tiles. Let's see. That is sandstone ceiling. Just need some wood. Man, these guys aren't leaving me alone right now. So you do want to be careful if you're going this close up to one of the entrances. You can pull spiders out of there. And the small spiders aren't really that deadly. You should be able to kill them pretty easily after practicing a bit. But the other ones, if you pull the big one, for example, because he does kind of pad around some, I have accidentally pulled him up here, which is not pretty if you do. And keep in mind that you will probably lose the little house that you built up here, because it is much, much bigger and more damaging than you're probably expecting it to be. So, alright, we're gonna actually wait. It's getting dark, so we're gonna wait till tomorrow. So let's finish placing these ceilings. For some reason that one does not want to go in there. Huh. Just really doesn't want to go here. Might be the bed. I guess good thing I built a few extra walls. Well, that's facing the wrong way. Oh well. Whatever. Little time gets short, probably out of wood. We can check both though. No, I was out of stone. There we go. Alright, so if you're using the big bed like I used, you may end up having to build a little structure above, like a chimney area, just to be able to fit on the... to make it fully enclosed for some reason. Let's see if that works now. Yeah, that seemed to work. So I think the bed somehow was blocking it. I don't know why. It may be that I normally build the structure first and then put the bed in here, so maybe that's what I did wrong this time, but honestly, it's not a huge deal. Alright, we're just going to dump a bunch of junk in here. Alright. So now we're going to be ready to go down into the canyon. Oh, I'm out of stone. Alright, so now our objective is to go down into the Silkwood area, which we're going to do once it gets light. And I'll show you where there's an abundance of iron for right now. But I think while we're waiting, we should be able to level up some stuff, so I think... yeah, let's add a little bit of encumbrance in here. Let's get up to the first tier. Alright. Now, see if there are any feats we can learn while we're still waiting here. Ah, braziers. These can be nice instead of using torches. You can use braziers, although I think, honestly, I feel like the torches give off more light. But, you know, check it out, see what you think. You can also put candles you can put on tables for extra light. So I actually like these blue torches. And there was another one that I liked. I don't remember which one it was. There was a white light one that you could get later on, I think. Which was like this one, but white. Yeah, I don't think I ever unlocked radium ones. Alright, we should probably unlock iron tools. Because hopefully we'll be getting to some of these other tools soon. Do I need die maker right now? Nah. Gonna skip it. Skip it! Excuse me. Got the sneezes. Alright. I think for right now we're good. Alright, it's becoming light now, so let's turn off our torch. Put on some weaponry in case we need it. Alright, so I'm going to show you the normal entrance I would go into to just show you kind of where the ore is. Alright. So over here, kind of on the edge of this little wall right here, there's an entrance that leads down into this area down here is kind of the Silkwood area, okay? It kind of ends where these walls are at. Like this area is not actually it, it's the green area here. Well, this is the first entrance you would come across if you're walking straight from the opposite side. Now what you'll see is when you go down into here, you're greeted right away with iron being right here. So, let's get some iron. Yeah, you'll also get regular stone while you're farming the iron stone. So worst case, if you start to fill up, just drop the stone. Stone's everywhere. You know, drop that so you can pick up more iron if you run out of room. But hopefully you won't run out of room on your first couple runs through here. Now, once you take it all out of here, it won't reappear right away. You have to wait some time. But what I want to do is show you a couple other areas near here where there is iron. There was that one stack kind of around the corner on that beach I showed you. And there are a couple other stacks that we can get past those, so we'll open up more areas. The key here, primarily though, is stay along this back wall at the bottom. So you just kind of want to hug this whole wall and then come out over here past the Silkwood. Only trick is just, again, watch out for that big giant spider that will pounce you and kill you very quickly. And if you have to run from him, run very far away. Do not stop. Like halfway back to your castle or your town. No, probably not that far. But don't just run back to your little camp that's right on the ridge of this lake, okay? Because he actually can follow you if you don't get far enough away. A pretty good distance. So I would say run back maybe to where like that desert area was that I showed you, where the scorpions and things were. That's a decent place to go to make sure you get away. Okay, you'll see little spiders in here. They're fairly easy to kill, so if you see them, I would just kill them as normal. They don't tend to do a lot of damage. You do get... What do you get from them? Ichor, I think. They do drop an armor crafting material. Chitin. That's, I think, what it is. Chitin. So later on, if you get that armor, I think it's a heavier set armor. But it's a decent place to get the chitin to make that armor because it's fairly cheap and easy to maintain because it only requires the chitin to repair. So you just keep some of that armor on you and you can just keep repairing the armor forever. So it's actually a decent starting armor. I liked it the first couple times I played through. But again, you'll have to just experiment on your own and figure out what you like. So right now you'll see we've already gotten over 100 iron ore just from this place alone. I'm actually doing pretty good on weight, so I'm not too worried about it. I haven't seen giant spider yet. There is also some coal over here. We will try to go farm that as well. Coal is primarily used as a fuel for burning longer than wood, but I think it's also used in dyes and a few other things, recipe-wise. So there should be some coal here. See the black rock here? This is coal. So, you know, feel free if you want to mine, if you have enough room, go for it. If not, you can certainly skip it if you need to. Oh, there's a spider. Ah, got him before I could dodge. So if you get one of these spiders, they don't tend to be all that dangerous to fight. And earlier, when I was saying about what you get ichor and chitin and feral flesh. So yeah, right on the nose with that. All right, I think that's all the coal. Nope, a few more. Yeah, if you have the bone or stone pick, you'll probably break it a few times in here because there's a lot of iron. But don't worry, the whole point of doing this is to get all the iron right so we can go back and what we're going to do though is really build some of the structures we need with iron first. So our first set of iron's probably not going to be used for tools. I mean, if you absolutely had to use it for tools, go for it. Okay, now that is the giant spider. There's some more coal. So again, I would say give that spider a wide berth. You would rather not be fighting him or having him chase after you if you can help it right now. Now, just to show you what I mean here. Oh, of course he's going the path. I was just going to go walk that path over there and walk past him, but, yeah, we're not going to do that right now. I was hoping he'd pat back to the left. Well, I guess we'll grab the coal right now. We're getting a lot of coal, too. Crap, we're almost full. Alright, well, maybe what we'll do is we'll just die here. And then I'll show you how the bed thing works. Versus bed roll. Oh, we still have a little bit of space. I can get the rest of this ore real quick. Coal. Yeah, I did want to show you where some more ore is. That's weird. Spider doesn't normally pad this far up. It normally stays in the silkwood. That's unusual. Well, anyway, if you do manage to make it out of the silkwood without drawing the attention of the spider, you make a left, walk the hill a little bit, and you get iron ore right here. Then somehow accidentally brought up the help menu. Wasn't trying to. Not the help menu, the chat menu. Oh crap. Alright, so we're just gonna die here. Because now the spider's like, oh, so it's 3 skulls for the spider, see? Maybe the bird will kill him. No. The bird can't kill him. Trust me on that. I mean, I'm barely even touching him, look. Ah, I got the bird before I died. Let me ask you a question. And I'm dead. Alright, so you'll see we have 3 places to spawn. Desert is where you died originally. I would not recommend respawning there. Bedroll is the first one I put down, so that's going to be in my first place. So I actually wanted to go back here on purpose. So I died. I was killed by the giant spider. That's okay. I come back with 191 ironstone. That's what we wanted. Because what we want to do is put that in here now. And we'll put the coal in here too for now. Use that as a burning fuel. So I have 109 wood in here currently, right? This is 252 coal. So if we make it... Let's split that up a little bit. So... Okay, close enough. So we have 109 wood versus 126 coal. So that burns for about 18 minutes with 109 wood. We put coal in there instead. 1 hour, 13 minutes for just a little bit more than what we had. So the ore is... Or sorry, the coal is a much better fuel source. So if you happen to get some out of the spiderwood area, soakwood, it's good to put that in here and save your wood for other structures, because you're going to need wood more than you need coal right now. Okay, but you may want to break up your coal, like I did. I've made it into 2 stacks. The only reason for that is you may have need of it for other things, other burning structures. I don't have any more yet, but you'll see. So we're going to go ahead and start that up. And you'll see now we're going to be making 95 iron bars. Yes. And apparently 18 bricks. So what the iron bars are going to allow us to do now is I wanted to build a thrall, lesser wheel of pain. And we need 220 wood, 210 stone, 76 iron bars, and 30 twine. We're gonna need some twine. Let's go harvest that. But yeah, the next big thing that I've seen a lot of people struggle with is thralls. So thralls are, well, let's put it bluntly, they're captured slaves. Okay? You can capture humanoid type creatures and break them down in the Wheel of Pain. Essentially what it is. And then once they're done converting, you then get to use them for whatever purposes you like. So if you have warriors, they can stand guard for you. If you get worker bees, like I think earlier you might have seen a construction guy, or there's a level 3 armor, I think. They can be put onto the coordinating benches, or appropriate benches, and craft stuff for you. Not craft stuff, sorry. They craft stuff for you regardless, but you still have to make them craft, tell them what to craft. But they speed up the crafting, and also if you get a person of level 3 or 4 in that group, they actually have the ability to give you some special recipes that you may not have yet. Or some special recipes that you may never see anywhere else. Although I think most of the recipes are probably available from somebody, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So best bet is just, try different things. And you can only have one thrall per structure. So, for example, I can try to explain some of this. So if you find like a Dafari armor out there in the wild, like level 3 Dafari armor, he can make Dafari equipment. I think that's a feathery looking equipment if I remember correctly. But then let's say you go around and you find a Shemite armor, level 3 or 4. He can then build Shemite armor. And then they have just a bunch of different character classes. Like you'll see when we go look at them, that each person is from a particular race, and then it tells you their job. So the idea is if you want to have more than one armor to be able to craft the equipment, you're either going to have to switch them in and out, which you can do for free, it doesn't cost anything. But they would take up spaces in a chest to store because they're like 50 pounds, you can't carry them on you. Or you'd have to build multiple armory benches, so just keep that in mind too. That if you really want to have lots of recipes, lots of choices, you're going to have to build multiples of these structures. And equip each one with like a different person, okay? Let's see how we're doing over here. We got 78 iron bars, let's take those. Ugh, not enough twine. I need more twine, so we're gonna have to get some more of the fiber. Plant fiber. Alright, so I want to show you how to do the thralls. Then we can also do the animal den. So that is for converting baby animals into adult animals. So like these sort of guys. We can pick up the babies over there and then throw them in the camp thing to get adult versions after some feeding of different food types and while waiting, basically. So you do have the herbivores, like the turtle guy is basically a herbivore. So you put in like plant fibers or bugs or something, I don't know, to feed them. I'd have to look. They'll tell you what they want. And then the meat eaters, the carnivores, tend to want meat of different types. They might want feral flesh, or they might want the savory meat, or yada yada yada. I don't remember any of them eating human flesh. I think we're the only ones who can eat that, so. Alright, did that give us enough? Alright, I think we got enough resources. Let's just pick up the rest of this stuff, man. Yay, lesser wheel of pain. Let's bring some pain. All right. Of course we're having trouble getting it to work. Well, that's just weird. I'm totally gonna have to put it there now. I mean, that would just be more of a workout, right? Because it's like slightly angled. Alright. So here's what we're going to do now. We are going to equip some new equipment. The truncheon and the fiber bindings. And let's see if we can show you how this works. So, two things you need for the thrall. One is you need the gruel. The gruel you put inside the lesser wheel of pain. The thralls will eat that until they are converted. So that's essentially the fuel. So we have 3 guys here. We're going to start with this farther guy. He's separated from the rest of the group. Let's see what he is. So he is a fighter. So, what you're going to see now is as I hit them with this truncheon, they get this little thing over their head. You might not be able to see it. It's above the red health bar. It's kind of like a gray and black bar. Once I hit them enough, the black bar goes empty. And we capture, well, we knocked him unconscious. So he's still alive. You can see if I highlight him, it says unconscious. So now what I do is I attach the... Oops, wrong button, wrong button. I'm not trying to kill him. It's E. There it is, E. You equip your fiber bindings with the E button, and you'll see where we got a rope on him, right? So now we're dragging him. And it looks funny because you're like dragging him over rocks and stuff. So it's like... Thump, thump, thump. You know, he should be dead by now, right? But he's not. Okay, and what we're doing is we're going all the way over here, and then hitting E to open the wheel, and it will automatically put him in here. So now you see we have a Conan Exile in here. Now we're going to start the wheel. You got to make sure to start the wheel, because if you don't start the wheel, they're never going to get anything done. So down here on the bottom right is where you will see the person we are currently converting. And the first Lesser Wheel of Pain, I'm pretty sure is only going to hold 1 person, so there's no reason to bring more than 1 here at a time. You have to wait for that one to finish. And if you pick up a person then drop them somewhere, they will eventually like become conscious again, okay? So it's not really useful doing more than 1. Now I could build a second Wheel of Pain and then have 2 going. Later you get to build larger Wheels of Pain that have more people walking around and more effect, so then you can actually put multiple people in it for learning at one time. Also keep in mind the named people. There's that named person that's over here. They take a long time to convert. I mean long, okay? Like, see this guy down here? He's already going pretty good, right? Look at him. He's already like 1/6 of the way down or something. Alright, how many more bars? We got 25 bars left. So unfortunately, that did use up most of the bars we made. We have 30 bars left out of the 90-some we had, because it took us 70 to build that. So may not have a lot of other stuff we can build right at this time with the iron, unless we get more iron. So we can do this in 2 ways. One is, of course, we could die, teleport back over to the other area. I can show you where some more iron is. That's going to take some time. We can do that. The other way to really get stuff right now would be to focus on some other recipes other than iron, right? The problem with that idea, though, is there are a few other recipes you can build. Like I could build this planter now. That's for growing crops. The Fireball Cauldron needs 50 iron bars. The grinder we could actually build now. That's for grinding up stone into salt, and you can grind bones into bone dust. We also have the shrines. That's for praying to the gods. If you unlock those enough, you unlock an avatar that can be summoned to fight for you. We already have the tannery. Bunch of animal recipes, but I'm not going to worry about right now because don't have any of the recipe stuff yet. Carpenter bench, no, that's fine. Compost heap, that's just wood. So yeah, we can actually build several of these things. So the blacksmith bench for building weapons requires 75 iron bars. The fireball cauldron for making potions and some mystical stuff requires 50 iron bars. Not as bad as I thought, so that's good. For some reason I thought it was going to be more we needed. Alright, let's just wait for this guy to be done. Hopefully it'll be done soon. Oh yeah, we're getting there. And then maybe we'll go capture the name guy. It's getting dark though, so we'll probably want to wait. Alright, so we did the one run through the spiderwood. We got everything in the silkwood, a little bit outside. That brought us back almost 200, so we got enough for 90 some bars. We built one structure. We're going to need at least double that, give or take, for building our blacksmith bench and was a fireball cauldron. So again, we can go back over there. If we walk, things would respawn. If we died and poured it over there, things probably wouldn't be respawned quite yet, because sometimes it takes a day or two for that to happen. Like I said, I could show you where some other iron is, but it's not a huge amount, like in the silkwood. The other best place to farm for ore, which I'd love to take you up there and show you, but it would take 30 minutes just to walk up there, is what I was telling you earlier, that I build a structure up here on this little cliff area. Like this whole set of cliff zone right here below this roundish lake. This whole set of cliffs along in this area just has tons of iron. Tons of iron ore. Like it goes all the way till, I want to say over here. I don't think I ever made quite that far. Maybe it was around here, actually. I stopped. I don't remember if I went all the way over there. But no, there's a ton of iron along this rock. I mean, just this ridge-like line, like here alone. And if you build little bridges, you can build some bridges on the walls that like attach rocks into the walls and then build some of the ceiling tiles across them. You can build huge bridges around the back of these cliffs, and I would just run ore back and forth along there and get 300, 400, 600 ore at a time. I mean, of course, higher level, right? I had more carrying capacity, but I mean, there's so much ore back up there that I would recommend building a base here. It's also nice too because it's kind of central to the map, sort of. I mean, I know this is like the end game right now, the volcano, right? But there's this whole area on this side over here that looks like, I would assume they're going to be opening up soon, because they went this way. They're probably going to go this way next. So this area, like right here, would kind of be like a central location once they open up that new zone. So it could be really, really worthwhile if they do that. But we'll see. We'll see what other content they bring to the game. Oh, there's my death. Now, another thing to keep in mind, I did die over here, right? The giant spider killed me. Because I'm playing on beginner level, I don't drop loot when I die. However, on any of the other difficulty levels, you drop everything, pretty much. I think there's a setting drop tool belt only, or maybe just keep the tool belt and drop everything in inventory. I don't know. You can kind of modify the settings if you want to do a custom game, but I do generally play where I drop everything if I die, so then I have to try to get back to my corpse, because that is more realistic. That's what I do in 7 Days to Die too. But for the beginning game, they let you keep everything, so it's good for practice. So I would just keep that setting on right now for practice, and that's it. Alright, is this guy done yet? Let's see. Oh, he is. He's done. So now we have a thrall. So we can actually take the thrall. And just to kind of show you what we can do with them, I'm going to go ahead and use this thrall. I'll take off the torch for a minute. So what you can do with thralls, you can put them down here and, I mean, essentially summon them, okay? So I'm going to place him down. If I do the right button, left button, not the right button, there he goes. So now he's a fighter who's guarding this area. So if any enemies come in this area, beasts or people that are violent, I guess, or flagged for attack, he will fight them. Now, You can equip them with armor. So right now you can see he has a coarse tunic, you know, hand wraps. He has crap armor on. So not that I can give him anything because I don't have anything right now. He also has a stone pike, a spear, essentially. So what you probably want to do at some point is upgrade him with equipment, right? The other thing, which I don't know if they've changed or not, so you're going to have to watch out. I'll try to watch for it. He does have a water indicator here and a meat indicator. You'll see he has meat here. By default, in the previous patches, I don't know if they patched it out yet, they aren't currently reducing food or water that I saw. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to build this thrall bowl, and you're supposed to put all the meat in there, so that way the thralls actually eat the food out of the bowl. But right now, I have not had to do that. So I would just keep an eye on it if you summon them, because, you know, by the time you watch this video, if it's a few months down the road, they may patch that out or change it to where food is going to be required. So right now, it is not, but maybe in the future. Oh, you can also take them with you if you want. So if I hold down the E button, I can do follow, and he would actually follow me around until I tell him to stop following, then he'll go home. I think it might take like a 30-minute timer though to do that. Alright, it's almost daylight. What I'm going to try to do, and I emphasize the word try, is I want to try to capture the named guy over here. Where is it? I don't see him. Well, let's kill the alligator first. Huh. That's odd. The named person's not over here like usual. Oh, well, that iron ore came back, so I can see it from here. We might as well go grab it. It's that gray rock kind of back there. Also, note for everybody, if you're out in the wild and a sandstorm comes along, you can kind of get up against rocks, kind of like in crevices. You'll see the little shelter symbol right there. Like this is a better one right here. If you can kind of find a spot that's like that, where it says you're sheltered, the sand won't actually kill you. So generally, like I said, find kind of a rock in the crevice and you just kind of, you know, stick your face into it. And if you can hide well enough in that, that's not a good spot there. But if you can hide enough in that little crevice, and you see that shelter pop up, you are protected from a sandstorm. Of course, this doesn't help if there are no rocks around you, right? Yeah, not all of them will let you do it. Generally, you got to find one that's just like overhanging a little bit or something. Yeah, the area back there was better. Oh crap! So what do we have? We have level 1 armor. Is that it? Alright, we'll go ahead and get the armor. I can put her on the armor workbench and show you what she does. Alright, we have made her unconscious. We're going to E button and drag her. Which is also funny when you're driving through water. Because they all float. Because, you know, unconscious bodies would just naturally float. And no, leaving them upside down in the water, like this, doesn't kill them. You'd think it would, right? It doesn't. It's a bummer the named person isn't over here. The named people do take a lot longer to knock unconscious too, so just keep that in mind. You'll probably have to avoid some of the attacks before you can take them out. Alright, we got an armor in there. Let us start. Again, always remember, you gotta start the lesser wheel of pain. Even though this guy's walking around, he always walks around. So unless you start it, they're not going to appear in the crafting queue. Alright, let me try to wait till this person's done. And then I'll show you how you put thralls onto buildings. Oh, looks like we might have a sandstorm coming. See this the little black specks on the ground? So when you see that, generally it means that you have a sandstorm on the way. So always look for those black specks. If you see them, be prepared to get to a house, or like I said earlier, get to some place that's kind of in cover. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump on in here. Actually, we're going to drink some water first. Yeah, you got some water. Yeah, you see that haze? That's a sandstorm coming. It starts getting dark. Actually, you know what? I should show you what happens if you're out in the sandstorm. So I'll stand out here for a minute just so you can see what happens. And by the way, the thralls and everybody else seem to be impervious. They don't ever seem to worry about sandstorms. Sandstorm's almost here. See, here it comes. Woo! Looks scary. Wall of sand flying right towards us. We're not in Kansas anymore, Toto. Oh, stuff's flying by. So is that a cow? No. So now you see we have a sandstone symbol over here on the left side of the screen. You also see our health is constantly dropping. Okay? So one way to mitigate that is to get inside a structure or to find someplace that's considered shelter. Now, while you're in here, you may still take an occasional bit of damage. You may see the red marks on the screen, and sometimes I'll lose some health. It's okay. You at least prevent most of the damage from getting dealt to you, so you're safe here. But again, if you're out in the wild, like I showed you on that one rock side earlier, the cliff side, sometimes if you can find a cliff side that says shelter when you kind of go into the corner of it, you can use that just like here. So, you know, worst case, try to get near a rock formation, see what you can find. It does not work for rock you can mine. It has to be one of the solid pieces that you don't want to climb. But, you know, hopefully you see some coming, you can find some sort of shelter quickly. You can also jump into the caves if you're near a cave. There's several caves you can go hunting in, resource gathering, things like that. Those also will protect you from sandstorms. But again, on the map, if you can get above this little sand line right here to the north, I did not see sandstorms happening anywhere from this line up north. And actually, I'm not sure if they happen in this region either. It may actually just be down here where the sand is. I'm trying to remember if it happened over here in the Silkwood area. I don't think it does. I don't remember it happening over here, so I think it's pretty much just in like the starting zone areas here where you get sandstorms. I think it's dying down. Yep. It is basically gone. So, at least we did get to see a sandstorm, so that was good. Alright, just waiting for the thrall here to be done. Just so we can show you how this works. We're putting a thrall into a place, a construction area. Let's see, can we build the animal den yet? I forgot that recipe. I may not have gotten it yet. Let's see. Yeah, we did get the animal pen. That's weird. I'm not sure where the recipe is for it. Oh, there it is. Carpenter's bench. That's why. Gotta build a carpenter's bench first before we can build that structure. Alright, so we have an armor bench. I didn't have to put them on there. So we have a Nordheimer armor. So we actually put him in the thrall slot. Right there. But let's see if we can see what he'll do. So, it doesn't really have timers or anything, so I don't really know. So essentially what he's supposed to do is he's supposed to speed up your crafting here. And if I had another level, actually he does have a special recipe, weave recipe. I think we already have the recipe, but if he was level 3 or 4, he would potentially give us a Nordheimer armor that we could build. So, not terribly exciting, but, you know, could be worse. Essentially what you want to do is you want to find level 3 or 4s, or named people. So they're going to have a name, and they'll be like they'll still be a cook or something. You'll see what they are. Like the named person over here, see if they're back yet. I don't see them. If they were back, though, underneath their name it says they're a warrior or a fighter. Alright, so I think... How long we've been going here? Hour and a half? That's probably going to be it for the tutorial for tonight. Looks like we'll at least do a part 3 to kind of continue some other early learning. So, oh, and there's the thrall. Yeah, I forgot. You'll see the thrall when you put them down on the benches. But they do have one for each, so the smelter has one, technically the fireplace will have one, the tannery has one, the artisan table may not, they have a generic thrall, I think. But, yes, so that's how we get thralls. So again, you have to beat them over the head with the truncheon, then make sure you have a fiber binding with you. And you see these are taking damage, so the truncheon takes damage as you hit people with it, and the fiber binding as you're pulling people. So if you're pulling people really far, you may have to repair the fiber bindings, and that just takes plant fiber, I believe, to repair. Yeah, just plant fiber. So as long as you have some plant fiber on you, the fiber binding should be fine. Later on, when you upgrade, you can make an iron truncheon and leather bindings, I believe. So then, of course, you need iron to repair the truncheon, and then leather to fix the bindings. But you can capture as many people as you want. You can just store them in a chest, even though, you know, you're just putting people in a box. It doesn't really make sense, but you can convert them, throw them into a box to save for another place. Only trouble with that is transfer them from base to base. They do weigh 50 pounds each, so if you're going to transfer a bunch of thralls, I would suggest doing the bedroll trick. You know, build a bed at the, or bedroll, whichever opposite from wherever you are, that you're storing everybody. You know, so for example, I like doing the thralls here instead of way on the east side where we built that spider bed camp area, because there are no real people over there, right? You didn't see any people because there aren't. It's mostly animals over there, with an odd occasional person you can find. But most of the people in the beginning of the game around here are only level 1s and 2s. Is the one level 4 named person here, and maybe you'll see a level 3 every now and then around here, but this is a good place to kind of stock up on some early thralls. You might not get, like I said, the level 3s, level 4s you want, but you'll get something. You can also build the thrall thing anywhere, so I'm not saying you have to build it here. You know, if you want to build another base somewhere else to do it, that's fine. Up north where I like building that other base, there actually aren't a lot of people. There are a couple other named people around there, but they're pretty far away, so you'll have to pull them a lot further to you know, break them down. But you can do it. I would just say wherever you want to break down people, you know, maybe build a little fire and then a thrall place, so at least you can make gruel and, you know, break down your thralls. Easiest way to do it, right? Other than that, we showed you where to get iron over here in the Silkwood. So if I went back over there now, it may have respawned because we didn't go past the day while doing the thrall stuff. So this is probably all respawned now. I can go back over there, get a, you know, 150 to 200 more iron, break that down. There was iron that we saw, I think it was over here. And then we had some right out of the Silkwood, like here. And then there's a little valley. If you go a little bit further over, there's a little place that has another good little amount, like right here, I want to say. Other than that, up in this area, you'll have the next set of leathers. So the other reason why I like coming over here is you'll start getting the medium leather to make not medium leather, what do they call it? Medium hide, I guess, or heavy hide. I think it's medium hide. To be able to start building the medium tier of armors. So you can get that from the gorillas up here, so that's really useful. You know, building a camp here, going over here, farming a few of the guys. And if you just follow the river and then cross, I think it's right here. I think that's the building. It's like a dock, so you can kind of follow the river and then jump over to the dock, and there'll be apes over to kill, and then you can go a little further and kill some more apes, yada yada yada. And there are a couple dungeons over here too. We'll get to the dungeons maybe in the next feed, because I'll do the starting one, which is actually right here. At the end of the Safari Camp, there is a dungeon, so we're going to try to do that probably on our next intro stream. So at least that way I can show you the first dungeon, show you how it works, some of the mechanics in it. We went over thralls, that was a big thing. Most of the other stuff should be self-explanatory, but, you know, if you want to follow this, just throw us a follow, and next time I do the stream, you'll get an alert on it if you subscribe and do the alerts. And then, if you want to have any suggestions of things you want to see in Conan, you know, structures we can build, things like that, I can certainly build more elaborate things. I'm just not right now because it's like the intro. But I do have a Discord channel as well, so you can always throw up some things on there. I thought I made a Conan Exiles area. I may not have thrown it in general for now if I haven't, but I'll try to make one before the end of the weekend. But again, thanks everybody who watched. You know, I didn't see anybody chatting today, but that's okay. We'll get some more done next time. But feel free to watch all our other streams. Tomorrow night, we're looking forward, hopefully, to doing a board game stream, if we get around to doing that. Not sure if it'll be Gloomhaven or something else at this point, but hopefully we'll do something. We'll see. Other than that, thanks everybody for watching. This is Bobby with Day After Day Gaming, and keep on gaming day after day. Have a good night.